So yesterday, during comportment class, we had quite a productive discussion, I think, about respect, and particularly respect towards monastics and those who have been ordained longer, senior monastics. And I remember something that I said during that conversation, and that was, well, I consider myself a respectful person. And then after I said that, I went away and I started to look at that more closely. What do I consider respect? How do I show respect? And is it coming from the right place? Is it the right motivation? And in the past, I remember that some of the basis for respect were things like fear. I have to watch my step, so it wasn't quite respect, but I had to watch my step because I'm afraid I get punished, or I'm afraid of some other consequences that would not be pleasant. So as I was looking at it, I realized, well, my understanding of respect is not very, very deep. It's quite superficial. And so how do I go deeper to generate genuine, heartfelt respect that is based on right understanding, that is not based on fear or desire to please, because, that's another factor. And especially for people pleasers, like I've been in the past, it's very easy to go into that mode. And then I think going into either one of those modes really takes away from the experience, takes away from the attitude and from the act of being respectful. So I was wrestling with that last night. I was wrestling with that this morning, and I decided I was going to do some purification. So the 35. For the prostrations to 35 Buddhas, I was focusing on that. I wanted to purify whatever attitudes I had towards respect that were not conducive. And as I was prostrating, I got this kind of burst of clarity, I thought. And I decided I'm going to hang on to this because this is a key, I think, to help me understand this in a clearer way. And what came to me was this thought about precepts. And what was clear to me at that moment was, the respect is not necessarily afforded to a person, although they are the basis. But the respect, really, the root of it, is the precepts that the person is holding. I realized that when I look at a monastic, I am looking at someone who's holding something very rare and very valuable and very precious. They are holding these precepts that were set by the Buddha and that has been handed down to so many practitioners, so many monastics, I don't even know the number, but to this date, so that I would have a chance to hold this precept, so that others would have a chance to hold this precept. That in itself engenders some feeling of gratitude, some feeling of admiration, some feeling of respect, something that I can really use and enhance and cultivate to help me approach respect from a deeper place. And I also realized, as I continued to on this course of analysis, that it really doesn't matter how that person is behaving. They could be angry, they could be jealous, they could be exhibiting any kind of erratic behavior. But that's just an illusion. That's like a mirage. That depends on causes and conditions and circumstances. It depends on my own filters. What do I judge to be erratic behavior? What do I judge to be anger? Based on my own culture and my own background. And so I cannot rely on that as the source of respect. I cannot rely on that as a clue to tell me whether or not I should respect this particular monastic. But the fact that they hold the precepts is something that I can relate to from this point of view. So after looking at that, then I said, okay, so let's take a look at myself. How then am I holding these precepts? The precepts that I do have. And could it be that the reason that I don't have this deeper sense of respect is because I'm not holding my precepts, the ones that I have, in that same way? How am I respecting my precepts then? And so it really, after going outside and looking outside, I was really redirected back to see, if I hold my precepts with respect and value and cherish them, I am more likely to do the same for others. And so then it's a question of not letting my mind be swayed or distracted by the daily activities, but rather to always try and generate and live with and hold that attitude of that realizes, the attitude that is aware of the rarity of the preciousness and the great fortune that I have to have received these precepts. And then the more that I can cultivate that attitude, the more that I can relate to others who have those precepts in that way. I don't know if this is making sense to you, but this is kind of where I landed. And then to go beyond that, I think that the more that I can have that attitude and cultivate that attitude of respect towards these precepts, the more likely that I am to want to hold the precepts, to want to not just hold the ones that I currently have, but also hold the full precepts. Because now my mind is focused on really understanding and cherishing the beneficial aspects, the benefit of holding them, how they impact my mind and how they impact my behavior, and how they are the foundation of my spiritual practice. And so, I realized that there's work to be done. And so, I'm not feeling, how can I say, I don't have a negative feeling about having discovered that there is work to be done, but rather I have an attitude of gratitude that I have discovered that there's more work to be done. And that it's something that fills me with joy, that there is that possibility. So thank you to all of you.